Win total is 8.5. Now, that sounded high to me when you consider that, like, Minnesota is 8.5. I will point out they've gone over that number 4 of the last 5 years. But D Wood, you like the under?
Listen, I've said, like, this year, Mike McDaniel's on the hot seat because I don't get. We talked about vibes earlier in the show. I don't get good vibes from the Miami Dolphins. They had, locker room, Jalen Ramsey wanted to get out of there. You just see a lot of players. There's like conflict between players and coaches and stuff like that.
The Tyreek Hill stuff.
The quarterback and the wide receiver. I just don't see it with Miami.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about Miami, too, and I think we all know we're going to at some point end up talking about the quarterback. And in that situation, we have a quarterback who obviously is a huge injury risk. Aside from the quarterback, even when he's healthy, I don't think this team is great. And you have to run the risk of him having to miss some games this season. I think this team, right around 8.5, I would probably feel safer with the under with things going poorly than I think that they overachieve.
Yeah, I'm also looking at the end of their schedule, and I think 3 of their last 4 games, or at least 3 in the last month or so, are on the road in cold weather cities, including Monday Night Football, believe, in Pittsburgh. Their AC is going to break in Miami if that's how they're going to prepare in their indoor facility. Like, those are those intangibles, though, that you have to measure and consider, because we know that Miami is not a good cold weather team. And you're telling me at the end of the year, on the road, in these tough environments, in the cold, that they're going to get there? I don't see it.
So interesting to me because you see at the bottom of your screen there, don't confuse ESPN analytics. Those are our stat nerds. That's Hembo and his crew. They're breaking down those kind of numbers. And then Vegas has a different knack for these things. They like the Dolphins a lot more than a lot of others do. They like the Patriots in that division too. Let me give you one more team. We spent almost all morning yesterday talking about them. The Indianapolis Colts. Their win total is 7.5. Domonique, you like the over or the under?
I think I like the over for the Colts. I know that the quarterback situation is not as excellent as I think they thought it would be when they drafted Richardson. They're going in with Daniels, who we haven't seen, or with Daniel Jones, who we haven't seen him behind a talented offensive line with talented pass catchers. So I think the expectations could be high for them, but I think they're a talented team in a division that's kind of in flux. So I could see them going over, especially if they have an effective running attack, which I think they will.
I said this yesterday, and everyone made fun of me, and so we'll see. It's not the first time that's happened. Like most geniuses, I won't be fully appreciated until long after my time. Stranger things have happened than Daniel Jones having a huge second act, right? Daniel Jones was the 6th pick in the draft. He's been a little well-traveled. He made a quick stop in Minnesota. Maybe he just picked up a little bit of that Kevin O'Connell magic. He goes to play for a coach in Shane Steichen, who is supposed to be one of these great quarterback gurus. He worked with Justin Herbert. He worked with Jalen Hurts. Maybe no one could have made Anthony Richardson at this stage of his life and career into what they hoped he would be. I'm not suggesting Daniel Jones is going to be a superstar, but him playing pretty well and this being a pretty good team, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
So a couple things. Number one, Indianapolis has pretty good skill in their offense. So that's
good
number
running
one.
Backs.
Yes, that's number one. And number two, we're actually seeing it more and more in the NFL where these quarterbacks move around and they somehow find their home. Whether you're talking about Baker Mayfield, Geno Smith, Sam Darnold.
Yes.
Like, these quarterbacks, sometimes they take a little bit of traveling to find the right home for them. That could happen with Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I absolutely think that it could. And I think the thing with Daniel Jones that he has that Anthony Richardson didn't is that he minimizes mistakes. Anthony Richardson's a roller coaster. It's a boom or bust situation. I loved the potential, and I think the Colts loved the potential initially, and then they realized, wow, I'm kind of motion sick, and I have to get off this roller coaster.
People also fighting for their jobs, too. Like, you need a stabilizing force in Daniel Jones, I guess.
Stabilizing force, I think, is the right word for it, because Anthony Richardson, I think he has these incredible throws, but then he also will be off target on a 4-yard hitch route. And that inconsistency is something that you won't see with Daniel Jones, where he may not have the cross-field 50-yard on a dime, but he also won't miss that 5-yard hitch by 3 yards. So I think that consistency is something that coaches like and teammates like even more than the high-end talent of Anthony
Or he might not tap out either.
Yeah, that was a bad moment,
We're trying
right?
to forget that.
On some level, he never got past that.
That's the problem.
Right, he never got past that.
Lineman, man.
That's a weird division.
Oh, lineman, man. He's so tough. We're so tough. We never tap out.
It's a weird division, too, isn't it, though? AFC South, the quarterbacks don't tap out. I mean, every single person has said they didn't do it. Okay.
Right now, because, Greeny, we're both Jet fans, and we saw Aaron Rodgers, who was hurt last year. When Aaron Rodgers came back, Aaron Rodgers played a lot better. And I think the point that you brought up, and I think it's a good point, the one thing that Aaron Rodgers does very well is take care of the football. And when you look at the way the Pittsburgh Steelers played last year, particularly at the quarterback position, the reason why their defense got worn down, because they didn't get anything out of the quarterback. That's not going to be the case this year. If Aaron Rodgers is healthy and he doesn't have to worry about carrying a franchise like he did with the Jets, they are going to be a lot better than people realize.
The stat that sold me on this, Hembo and I work on these together, the stat that sold me was that Rodgers and the Jets were 0-7 in games decided by 6 points or fewer last year. That's coaching. Coaching is what wins you these games around the margins. You just need to be better at that. Mike Tomlin is to compare Mike Tomlin to what the Jets had in coaching last year. It would be unfair to both sides of them. So it's ridiculous. It's not even worth talking about. He's going to be just this much better, and Tomlin is that much better. This team's going to win a lot of games.
Yeah, I've been high on the Steelers' projection going into this, but I feel like someone has to offer a little sober analysis of the Aaron Rodgers that they're getting.
Yes.
His last 2 full seasons, he wasn't the no interception throwing Aaron Rodgers. He threw double-digit picks in both of his last 2 full seasons, one with the Packers and one with the Jets. And I think that I believe in this situation, not because I think Aaron Rodgers can be the greatest version of himself. It's because, to what D. Wood said, we saw that he still has the ability to make those throws. They're not going to ask him to make a lot of those throws. They're going to rely a lot more on their defense and hope that in those tight situations, the combination of Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin will help them prevail.
All right, so now let's go to our sort of eyes on the ground, if you will. Brooke, you've been there from day one. What have you observed from Rodgers, and in particular from Rodgers and Tomlin?
I've observed a love fest. I have not had them take a love languages quiz. But if I were, I can almost guarantee you their love languages would be the same. It's words of affirmation and it's quality time. What have we heard that Mike Tomlin sold Aaron Rodgers on? It's every time they talked, I'm not talking to you as a coach, I'm talking to you as a friend. Let's spend some time together, let's bond. Tell me about your inner circle. You mentioned a name one time, I'm gonna bring it up next time and ask how that person is doing. What's Aaron Rodgers done since he got to Pittsburgh? He has done that with every single player on the roster. And I mean guys from Julius Welschoff, who is a German outside linebacker that he calls his German friend, to Evan Hull. Yeah, very descriptive. That's how he remembers. It's an association. And then Evan Hull, a UDFA running back who he met one time, met his wife and his kid. They stretched together at training camp because that's how he's getting to know these guys, is in the stretch lines. He's not out in front. He's in the back. He's mixing it up. He's trying to get to know people. The way that I look at it and the way that this works and what was missing in New York is that Aaron Rodgers is going into a situation where the culture is set, where the orchestra is assembled. He's not coming in to be